Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia, and this is What Happened on the Soaps. Also, this will be going on the All Soaps All Day channel as well. All right, guys, just getting into it. This is What Happened on the Soaps, Young and the Restless edition. Today is Monday, May the 9th, 2022. And you know how we do it, a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to get us a 7. It wasn't much. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7. It was probably more like a 6, 6.5 for me. But let's go right into it. So we see okay, so we see Victoria and Billy meet up. Well, not meet up. She's actually goes in to get coffee, and he's stopping to get at Crimson Lights, and he's stopping to get something, a snack, because he's late for the Abbott meeting. So it's like his peace offering. And Victoria says, "Oh, I really wanted to talk to you." And I said, "Okay, I already, it's a mess." But anyway, she wants to talk to him because she says, "I heard your podcast and I heard what you said about Ashley." And he said, he tried to be like, "Oh, it's we have so many podcasts." And she said, "No, the grinning soul, I believe that's what she said it was called." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a guy we hired out of California." And she said, "Now, Billy, I am not crazy. I know that is you." She says, "I know your tone and everything." I said the same thing too. I said, quiet as kept. He really didn't change his tone that much for the to do this podcast. But anyways, so she says, "Billy, why would you do that? Why would you put that out there?" And Billy just tells her, "I mean, it could be anyone, but," she says, "I know it was you." And he said, "And you said that about Ashlyn." He said, they could be talking about any CEO, any person who's greedy for power." And she said, "But but it was you, and you were talking about Ashlyn." And he said, "But if that person was talking about Ashlyn, would that bother you? Like, would you care? Like, think about everything that Ashley's done. Doesn't he deserve that or whatever?" And so then Victoria's like, "You know what? I gotta go." And he said, "Oh, so now I'm asking questions about how you feel about Ashlyn, and now you have to go and everything." Yes, she do, Billy, because she doesn't want to answer those questions. So then we see where they go back and forth or whatever, and she just pretty much tells him, "Stay out of my business." That's what it was. And he was like, "It is what it is." So then we see that she goes over to okay, so Victor and Nikki have been talking, and they talk about Victoria just a little bit. They really don't talk about her much. They just know that she's hurting, and they're glad that Ashlyn's out of their life, and they hope that he doesn't win her back. They wish he would just get out of town. But then they talk about Diane Jenkins and how that, Victor says, "I told Adam about her." And Nikki was like, "Why did you tell Adam?" He said, "Because he was a co-conspirator with her at one time. So I told him to tell him to leave Diane alone. Don't mess with her. Don't get involved with her. Don't do any of that. Leave her alone or whatever." And Victoria was like, "Well, we need to tell Nick and everyone." And he says, because they don't want Nick finding out, just by some random person or whatever. And they were like, "Yeah, we're going to go ahead and tell Nick so that he knows that she's back in town." And they said the Abbotts are probably already, informed Abby and everything. So anyways, they just are like, Diane, if she knows what's good for her, she's going to leave town. But if she tries to come for their family, then they'll handle it. So then they go to the office, and Victoria is there. So Victoria goes to the office or whatever, and she thinks about Billy's words, and it makes her take off the V necklace that she had on. Remember, Ashlyn gave her for Valentine's Day. So she takes it off or whatever. And because she was thinking about Billy's word on the podcast, where he was just like, "This man has so much money, but he's still hungry. He still wants more. It's never enough." And he's so insecure that he even hurts the people that he claims that he loves, because like nothing is ever enough for this man. And okay. So then we see that Victor and Nikki come in, and they all talking to Victoria, and Nikki, she's like, she's talking business. And then she said, "Oh, you took the necklace off." Like, Mama, sometimes you don't have to mention everything that you say, but she mentioned it. She said, "Oh, you took the necklace off," or whatever. And she was like, "Yes, yes, and it's no big deal or whatever." And Victor said, "What's going on? What I missing?" She said, "It's the necklace that Ashley gave her for Valentine's Day. I think she took it off because, she said now she had been wearing it." And Victor was like, "Why would you want to wear that? Why would you keep wearing that or whatever?" And she said, "Daddy, it's nothing. It's just a piece of jewelry, but I took it off or whatever." And she tells him, "Thank you for the portrait of me. Thank you for being, still trusting me and loving me and supporting me through all this, even my decision to bring Nikki on." as mother on as co-CEO is to the Adam, and he says, well, maybe it was too soon to bring Adam on. You're gonna wish you had brought Adam on because I know he's coming for y'all. He said maybe it was too soon to bring Adam on and everything, but I do want y'all to start getting together and and everything. So then they talk about Ashlyn giving the 250 million to Nick, wanting to donate that, and Victoria said he hasn't told me anything because Nikki said, oh, he's just using that to try to win Victoria, and Victoria was like, he hasn't told me anything, so as of right now, and she said, and even if he did call me, it would be a waste of time because he's not coming back in my life. I was like, okay, girl, you'll be back with him in by Christmas. So anyways, we see that Victor is just like, don't let him back in. And she's like, it would be a waste of time. I'm not letting him back in. Everything is fine. So then she tells him, I'm a little hungry because I missed lunch. So I'm going to go get something to eat before our meeting at 3 o'clock. And they say, okay, go ahead. So she leaves out and they're just like, oh, I'm just so concerned about her. And when she can put up a front here, but when she goes home at night, she's got to be alone in that big house all by herself. And I know that's not easy on her. So they're just agreed that they're just going to look out for her. All right. So then we go to the Abbotts. So Diane is there and she's shell shocked. But she says, it's okay. I could be here at the Abbotts. Now, I'm not going to hold you long on this. All they did was grill at Diane about why she wants to be there. Now, they did bring up some good points. One, excuse me. One is Diane. You say you've changed and everything. Where did you start seeing psychiatrists? She said about 6 years ago, give or take. And Abby said, "What is it, give or take?" And she was like, "I don't know." And they said, "Well, when did you have this epiphany that you were this changed woman?" And she said, about 4.5 years ago. She said, but it was gradually over time. And they said, you want us to believe that you became this changed person in 4.5 years ago? Like, that would be a lot of therapy. And she said, and they were like, does your therapist have credentials? What's going on with your therapist? They're asking all of this information that y'all I saw in the comments wanted to know, like, who is your therapist? Is she licensed? Did she agree that it was a good idea for you to come see Kyle? And the answer was no. She didn't say it, but she said it without saying it because she said, well, you know, um, we all have to do our own timing and make our decisions. And Ashley was like, so that would be no. Your therapist agreed that you shouldn't have came and saw Kyle. And so then she just says, well, I mean, I should be able to change. Like, I don't want anything. I'm not trying to get anything. And because um, Ashley said, well, I need to see your financial records. And she said, well, I'm not a rich woman, but I can provide for myself. I just bought a home. And Jack said, yes, Chemo's home, which you used to try to get to me so that you could facilitate all of this. And she said, Jack, we talked about this. Diane has not changed. I'm sorry. She has not changed. But anyways, Billy comes in and he's like, whoa. He was like, I didn't know this was going to be going on. And she says, Billy, it's good to see you. So they tell Diane, why should we think you've changed? And so Diane went to saying stuff like, Phyllis, I mean, it's not Phyllis. Y'all say Phyllis has changed. The Newmans have changed. She said, Billy, you should know about change and forgiveness. And then she goes to them one by one, like, um, um, Abby, you have your new mom to Dominic. And I love that, Kyle, like you love that little boy. And then she says, Ashley, you've been allowed to be change and She talks about Tracy and her novels and how her people are about redemption and Jack and all this. But then I said, now, Diane, if you really had changed, you would not have felt the need to take that shot at Abby talking about riding naked horseback. Like, Diane. I said, see, that proves right there that you have not changed, because when she can take a little dig or a shot at someone, she does. But anyway, Kyle's sitting there stuck. I'm like, boy, just say you want your mama and just go on and have this relationship with her and stop trying to justify this by bringing other people in this. Just have a relationship with your mama. But anyway, she said, I feel like I've answered enough for right now, and and everything. So I'm gonna leave and let y'all talk about it. So Diane gets up and leaves, and Kyle is like, well, so what do y'all think? And so Ashley said that woman hasn't changed. Now she said she talks a good game, and Abby said yes, she does. She talks a good game, but it's rehearsed. She hasn't changed. But then Abby, she said, but you know what? I'm biased. So I can't give you like I wouldn't do it, but I'm biased. Excuse me. So he asked Billy, and Billy said, "I'm the king of second chances. 2, 3, 5, 25." He said, I'm the screw up. Who knows about me? I would give her a chance, but be careful." And Tracy says, "When she looks at you, she does love you. So there's love there." She said, but she said, "I'm a little weary about um all the other stuff. I don't know about all that." And so he asked Jack, and Jack, Jack is Switzerland. He not gonna say anything. So he was just like, "It's your decision, and I'm gonna support you with or whatever." And so Kyle was like, "Oh gosh." Just go, you're gonna forgive your mama and build a relationship. Someone gonna have to come over here and get on Diane. So, anyways, Jack gets a knock at the door, and he's like, or the doorbell rings, and he's like, "Who is this?" And at the door is Allie. She said, I didn't call because I was afraid I would chicken out if I did. So I just came. I hope this is a good time." He said, "It's a perfect time. Come meet your family, girl." And so that was the Young and the Restless, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm a new channel trying to grow, guys. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you on another episode of What Happened on the Soaps edition, Young and the Restless, tomorrow. Bye.